In this screencast video lecture, we are going to see in detail about the malaria disease. Malaria is caused by a protozoa. The name of the protozoa is a Plasmodium vivax. This is the one which causes the malaria. The life cycle of the pathogen is generally digenetic in nature. That is, it requires two different hosts, namely human as well as the mosquito, that is Anopheles mosquito, in order to complete its life cycle. The overall steps that have been associated there with the malarial disease are as follows. The first one is infecting and sporozoites injection. It refers to mosquito just biting a person and injecting the sporozoites of that particular malarial pathogen inside the bloodstream of the human. Next step is the liver schizogeny. This is the one which takes place inside the liver of the human host. The same thing with reference to the erythrocytic schizogeny. This is the one which takes place there in the erythrocytes, that is in the RBC cells. That is, this pathogen will be living inside the RBC cells and they can able to burst the cells and they will get multiplied. And the post-erythrocytic schizogeny followed by the formation of gametocytes, that is formation of the gametes. These gametes will be again fusing by the fertilization process that results in the formation of a zygote. This zygote again gives rise to the formation of the sporozoites. This final stage will be taking place there inside the mosquitoes. Now, we try to look at in detail about the disease progression. As I already told, it requires two different hosts, that is human as well as the Anopheles mosquito, to complete its life cycle. In the human, if you look at, two asexual cycles could be present or it can be noticed there in the human system, mainly in the form of liver schizogeny as well as erythrocytic schizogeny. The infective stage, that is sporozoites that are transmitted mainly during the biting of a female Anopheles mosquito along with its saliva, could able to reach there into the human blood system and they can able to get collected there further in the liver cells. So in the liver cells, they can able to undergo a lot of multiplication that results by multiple fusion among the cells. It's an asexual phase of multiplication. Finally, that marks the formation of merozoites. The merozoites are again a form which are more infective and can able to invade there into the blood cells in order to continue the next asexual phase, that is the erythrocytic schizogeny. The merozoites thus formed during the liver schizogeny can able to now go into the erythrocytic cells and they continue to divide. This multiple fusion here in the erythrocytes are red blood cells results in the erythrocytic schizogeny. That is, parasites reproduce asexually there in the red blood cells. This results in the bursting of the red blood cells and causing cycles of fever there in the host, that is in the humans, and they can able to cause other symptoms such as headache, nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite and even difficulty in the breathing. The erythrocytic schizogeny finally results in the formation of the gametes. These gametes could be formed that are all actually the sexual stages of their life cycle. That is, they can able to fuse further there in the mosquito and results in the zygote formation. Next, we look at into the process that have been taking place in the other host or the vector, that is the Anopheles female mosquitoes. So, they are the one which serve as a second host for certain other life cycle phases. Sexual phases of the pathogen, that is the protozoan sexual phases, could be happening there in the mosquito in two different phases. One is a gametogeny and another one is a sporogeny. First, we look at the points related to the gametogeny. The sexual stages, that is gametocytes, that have been developed there in the red blood cells could be further transmitted to the mosquitoes mainly by the biting of the female mosquitoes on the human. That is, during their blood meal, they can able to take up the gametocytes that have been present there in the bloodstream of the humans. Fertilization of the gametes could be resulted there in the formation of the zygote. This zygote develops there inside the mosquito's intestine. They further multiply and form into mature infective stages, that is called as a sporozoites there in the intestine of the mosquitoes. This particular infective form, sporozoites, can able to easily reach there further into the salivary glands of the mosquito, and that particular Anopheles mosquito is again biting a human individual. The sporozoites are getting transmitted there to a new human. In this way, the life cycle has been repeating there for this Plasmodium protozoa. Next, we look at some more points related to the disease. The incubation period of the pathogen of this parasitic disease is usually of 3 weeks. During this period, the pathogen grows there in the liver cells as well as in the red blood corpuscles, that is in the RBC cells, which is also referred as erythrocytes, and they can able to even destroy the RBCs and they get easily multiplied. Chills and fevers could be the first symptoms that have been shown there during the 3rd and 4th days. Apart from that, during the fever attack, you can able to see 3 stages, that is a cold stage, hot stage as well as the sweating stage, which are all prevalent during the disease progression. Next, we look at a few points of environmental factors, that is which affects the disease spread. Say, malaria is prevalent more in the warmer climate containing regions of the world, especially in the sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, South America, and some parts of the Middle East are commonly subjected to the spread of the malaria disease. And a seasonal variation is also noticed, that is, the disease spread is high during a rainy season where the mosquito populations can able to easily breed and increase in their population sizes. The control measures that curtail the spread of malaria includes destruction of the mosquitoes and their larvae, mainly preventing the stagnation of the waters, and avoiding the mosquito bites by using certain mosquito repellents, and adopting an integrated pest control to control the vast multiplication of the vector, that is the mosquitoes. One more important parasitic disease, that is a protozoal parasitic disease that affects the humans, is amebiosis, which is mainly caused by a protozoa called Entamoeba histolytica. It causes amoebic dysentery. Remember, there is another form of dysentery that could be caused by the bacterial infection, which will also show some similar symptoms. Now, this Entamoeba histolytical symptoms there on the individual is destruction of the lining of the large intestine and diarrhea formation that have been accompanied with a gripping abdominal pain as well as discharge of mucus as well as blood there in the stool or in the feces. The infection is caused mainly by eating of the contaminated food, that is this Entamoeba containing food when it is eaten, that can able to cause this particular disease. The complete period of the disease progression there in an individual will be around 1 week.